cycle, donated billions of dollars to their campaign, billions of Ghana dollars to their campaign, and in exchange for his donations, got favors, huge favors, was able to buy a Lamborghini and a Ferrari and very expensive uh, supercars in Guyana, where the taxes on these vehicles is usually 4 times the value. So if a car like a Lamborghini costs 500,000 US dollars, you can expect to pay upwards of 2.5 million dollars US dollars for it in Guyana. So whereas let's say you were living in New York or California, you want to buy a Lamborghini, you pay $500,000 for it. In Guyana, the same Lamborghini would cost 2 million to 2.5 million US dollars. It turns out that the government, current government that is, gave Mr. Mohammed concessions because of his political campaign donations and so on. He was able to get his Lamborghini, his Ferrari, and so on, almost tax-free, relatively tax-free. But when he was sanctioned by the US government, the US government basically have receipts because apparently this vehicle was purchased in the US and shipped to Guyana. And the US government knows the price of the vehicle and has specific information about the transaction. So the US government applied sanctions to Mr. Mohammed, and his political party immediately disavowed him, made him persona non grata, and for the past 3 months proceeded to try to put him in prison, accuse him of various crimes and misdemeanors, accuse him of sexual assault, all sorts of petty and embarrassing things. Mr. Mohammed responded by forming a political party called WIN, W-I-N, We Invest in Nationhood, to compete in this election cycle. And that is the third party. Now here we are, we're back on this is the overpass at Peters Hall. Right, it's the Peters Hall overpass that's looking north towards Georgetown. Like you said, it's a Monday morning, Monday the 1st of September, but it's a national holiday because it's election day in Guyana. So this is what the traffic looks like on a holiday. This is looking south towards the bridge. So that is the New Demerara Bridge. From this point of view, this vantage point, you can begin to see the rails on the bridge. And as you can see from here, there's no traffic on the bridge. So for those of you who want to know if the bridge is open on the 1st of September, not as far as traffic is concerned. There is no vehicles going over the bridge. Although the bridge, I think, is continuous so that vehicles can actually pass. From where we are right now, no vehicles are going over the bridge, and I can see rails are still missing. So as you can see, up to that point, up to this point, you can see there are rails. I don't know if it's clear in this video, but you can see there are rails. There's some flashing lights there. There's some blue and white rails. But beyond that point, there are no more rails. So the bridge is not open. It's not completed. This is the pass. This is the section that passes over the East Bank Public Road. That's the overpass section. You can see the yellow rails, slightly higher than the other rails in the region, in the vicinity. Right, that is the ramp. That ramp reaches back a quarter of a mile and then 2 miles to the exit on Heroes Highway. So like I said, the third party is the WIN political party, led by Mr. Mohammed. And their argument is that taxes are too high. So the WIN political party says, look, man, the taxes that we're required to pay on these vehicles is too high. They didn't dispute the fact that the Lamborghini and the Ferrari and so on that was purchased by Mr. Mohammed benefited from reduced taxes. What he's arguing instead is that the taxes are too high and that they're going to reform taxes. They're going to do tax reform and they're going to make the money directly available to the people. By the way, all of the political parties, without fail, have promised to give cash grants, cash money to the Guyanese people from the oil revenues. So in that sense, everybody is trying to buy votes. That's looking at the bridge over the tops of the houses in the neighborhood. It seems as if my camera is dirty this morning. The lens is dirty. But yeah, so Wynne says, look, we're going to reform taxes and make sure that you don't have to pay 4 times the price of a vehicle. The third or fourth political party was a breakaway. In fact, there are 2 breakaway parties from the opposition. One of them led by Simona Brooms, who was in fact the women's mining advocate. So for women in mining during the last election cycle, she was the female miner who represented women in mining. She now has formed her own political party. Don't remember the name of the party or the symbol, but her campaign is again about women's rights. The 5th political party is one. They formed a coalition of Lindeners, people from Linden, led by Mrs. Desir Walton. Mrs. Desir Walton apparently wanted to be the prime ministerial candidate of the opposition APNU, and when she was not chosen, decided to break away and form her own political party. And that means she went back to her roots, to Linden, and formed a coalition with the community, the political leaders in Linden, to form a party called the morning. FMG or FGM, I can't remember exactly what it is, but their political party is arguing mainly about security, because her portfolio while she was in the opposition, that is Desir Walton, was about Venezuela and Maduro and Guyana opening its borders to Venezuelans and so on. So her political campaign has been about security, and towards the close has been about women's rights. The fact that there is a large number of women being killed in domestic violence situations in Guyana. The government has done nothing substantial to address the issue of domestic violence and femicide, killing women in Guyana. So Ms. Desir Walton has made that her issue of femicide, the issue of domestic violence, women being killed by their intimate partner violence, and security. So that is the 5th political party. What is the 6th political party? Let me see. I can't even remember the 6th political party. So the AFC. So the AFC is former coalition member led by Nigel Hughes, the attorney at law. He's famous for having argued that 32 is the majority of 65 during the last election cycle. It was a long drawn out argument during the last election cycle where nobody had actually gotten a majority of votes. There's 65 members of parliament, and what you're voting for is for representatives. The party that gets the most representatives, majority of 65, which is 33 or more, that party wins the election. And during the last election cycle, nobody got 33 votes. But the opposition, was back then the ruling party, had gotten 32 votes. And the remaining parties had gotten the 33 votes. And what the current government was able to do is to form a coalition with the minor parties to get those 33 votes to win the last election cycle. So Nigel Hughes is infamous for arguing that 32 is the majority of 65. Morning. Videoing the bridge.
No man, you can't video the bridge, man.
Yeah, I can video the bridge anytime.
No man, no man.
Check my YouTube channel. I've videoed the bridge for the last 2 years, every 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks. So that is what the elections this year are about. The bridge, to some extent, has been completed, as you can see, but it hasn't yet been opened to pass under the bridge. Right, this is the overpass. We're passing under the overpass now. The bridge has been completed as per campaign promise, but it's not yet officially opening. There's no vehicular traffic crossing the bridge. But those are the 6 political parties competing for control of the government on this election day 2025. That's looking east under the bridge. This is looking west towards the west coast. So what is the outcome that we expect? Quite frankly, I expect them to have a split of the votes. There are 6 political parties. I expect all 6 political parties to get some representation in parliament. That means that no one political party is expected to get 33 votes or more. I think, quite frankly, you're going to have a minority government where each political party has less than 33 votes, and therefore they have to form a minority government, meaning that they have to get together with some of the largest vote getter, the party that wins the largest number of seats, will have to form a coalition, whether temporary, dynamic, or permanent, with one of the smaller political parties in order to govern. And that would be an ongoing dynamic situation for the foreseeable future. So what I'm expecting this election cycle is the split of the votes. I think the Mohammeds, that is the Win party, will probably get a significant number of votes, the 3rd largest number of votes. I think the largest number of votes may still go to the leading party, the PPP. The 2nd largest number of votes will go to the PNC, because they have a permanent base, right? They have a permanent base of support. The Win party now has a base in the indigenous community, the indigenous people of Guyana, so they're going to win the 3rd largest number of votes. And the other 3 parties, AFC, the FMG, or FGM, I don't remember exactly what, and the last one with Ms. Simona Brooms, they're going to win maybe 1 or 2 seats each. Less than 10 altogether. But that's what's up, guys. That's what's happening here in this neck of the woods at Providence, in the fastest growing economy in the world, on election day 2025, as September 1st, 2025. Now I'm out here on Monday morning as usual because I'm getting in my exercise. I don't let any of this stuff bother me. It's unfortunate that I had to block a lot of people during this election cycle, but you know what? I felt good about it, because if you let the noise come in and control the message, then it's not clear. It becomes rather muddled and unclear, full of lies, what I'm saying on this channel. And I can't have that. So I'm happy to say that a lot of the troublemakers have been removed from this channel, and it's smooth sailing for the future on this channel, Raffle Nation. If you want to see more content like this, click like and subscribe. That's Red Road looking east. And here we are back at the intersection of Red Road and the Republic Road, the East Bank Public Road. And that's looking back at the bridge from Red Road. If you want to see more content like this, click like and subscribe. Share this video with friends and family around the world. Let people know what's happening here at Providence in Guyana, in the fastest growing economy in the world on Election Day 2025. September 1st, 2025. Happy Labor Day to those of you who are celebrating in the US, in Canada, and in the UK and elsewhere. Welcome to the fastest growing economy in the world. Share this video with friends and family around the world. Let people know what's happening in Guyana. Later!